Hi there, and welcome back to another episode at Station Road. Now today we're actually going to do a quick follow-up video on a previous video about a track cleaning wagon, which we have here. And for anyone who's watched that and may recall, we made a custom or scratch-built track cleaning wagon using balsa wood as the cleaning pad. Now, people have actually asked, how do you actually go about changing the pad once this actually gets too dirty? Now, as you can see, this pad here is well and truly due for a change. And if you refer back to the video, and I'll just pop a link up in the top corner, the balsa wood is just simply double-sided tape to a plastic platform. So we'll go through that process in this video of changing this pad out for a clean pad. But in saying that, I'm also actually going to look at something a little bit different. Now, I have just recently watched a video and it was recommended to me by a subscriber, a channel called Fishplate Films. Now, this is operated by a very exuberant and lively Australian who has absolutely and almost literally swearing black and blue that we shouldn't be using track rubbers on our track, and we should be using what is called Inex or WD-40 or CRC. So that made me actually think, because although I do use this and will run this around behind a train, I do use the Pico track rubber if I haven't used the layout in a considerable amount of time, and if there's any really particularly sticky points on the track, then I will use this rubber. Now, according to this chap at Fishplate Films, these are bad, very bad. So I may well actually possibly bin this. But what it's actually led me to think is, can I adapt this custom or scratch-built track cleaning wagon to this alternative method of track cleaning? Now, what if I create another wagon similar to this, instead of putting balsa wood, a balsa wood pad on the base, what if I put little felt pads and then soaked the felt pads with this stuff and ran a train around with this running the product onto the rails? Now, I went out and bought some of these, and we'll bring in a closer shot of these Scotch little felt pads. Now, these are designed to put on the legs of your furniture so that you don't end up gouging marks into your floors. Now, I thought these are self-adhesive, so why not stick a couple of these on here, and or on another version of this, and then spray it or with the dispenser onto the felt and run that around the track. So we'll give that a go as well. So in terms of using these felt pads, I thought before I go ahead and actually make up a track cleaning wagon with the pads, or whether I actually just put the pads on the base of this wagon, I just thought what I'd do first is stick a couple of these onto a piece of plastic, which I've got here, drench these in this material here, and I just want to actually see whether, first off, whether this product does it, whether it reacts with the felt, or whether it maybe reacts with the adhesive in the felt, because it's not going to work, obviously, if I apply this stuff to the felt and then we find that it actually dissolves the adhesive and the pads just simply fall off. So that's as far as I'm going to go with it. Now, if it's successful and it appears that the adhesive stays intact on these pads, then I will go ahead at a later point and make up another wagon with these felt pads on it. So first up though, we will have a go at replacing this on here. Now I haven't actually replaced this pad yet, as you can tell, so we'll just see how this goes. So here we have the current pad, and as you can see, as I mentioned before, it is well and truly in need of replacing. But as you can see, you know, from this example really, that it does seem to be, well, it does work. It's certainly takes the grime off. So that is the current pad in there at the moment, and that is just simply double-sided taped to a plastic base. And here we have, I've already pre-cut out another strip of balsa, and as you can see, what I do is actually bevel the leading edges so that we avoid it snagging on, well, particularly on points and things like that. So anyway, let's just see how easily we can actually do this. Right, so there we go, all the tape's peeled off. So it wasn't too arduous to get that off, and we'll now stick the new pad on. So I'm just going to use thinner double-sided tape. I'll just use 2 strips, and this should be enough to hold it in place, but also maybe make it a little bit easier when it comes time to replace it again. And there we have it. So there's our new pad on the wagon. So if we just clear some of this out of the way, and we'll just run this, and there we go. So you know, there's our new pad on there. That will be good for, you know, another maybe 3 months before it needs changing again. And we're probably already seeing how it's actually cleaning this bit of spare track. So there we go. So that's that. Now onto this stuff here. What I'm going to do is we're just going to try this and this together with the bit of plastic, and I just want to see whether this is going to react badly with the felt or the felt adhesive in any way. So we'll give this a go now. Now these are made by 3M, and I'm pretty sure you can probably get these all over the place. You can also actually buy just large sheets of this material as well, self-adhesive, and you just simply cut it to size. I bought these because they actually work out quite good for size. They're almost ideal for the track width. They're about 25 millimeters wide. So we'll see how these go. So that's, I put 2 of them together, stuck on there. Now if you could just imagine that this is the plastic pad for the underside of the wagon. That's the theory behind it. So that would simply run along the track like that. But let's have a look and just see what happens if I douse some of this Inex onto these pads. Right, so I've given that, well, reasonable soaking with the Inex, so we'll just see how this goes. I'm just going to run it over the track and just see whether it actually spreads the product onto the rails, because this is not a cleaner as such. So it's definitely holding within the felt, and you know, that felt's feeling really quite damp, and when I run it across the rails, it's certainly you can certainly see it spreading on the rails, and I probably won't really be able to show that in terms of I don't know whether that's going to show up, but as you can see, there's the felt pads, and they actually fit quite nicely in terms of the track gauge. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm just actually going to leave it for a wee while, because I'd be quite curious to see if it's actually going to dissolve the adhesive on the back of the felt pads. Right, okay, so let's do this wee test. Now, I've pulled out of the cupboard my two favourite locomotives, and actually probably the two most reliable locomotives that I have in my range. Both older Bachmann, one's a Class 24 and the other a Class 25. So what we're going to do is the Class 24 BR Blue here, we're just going to run this around the track, and I have not cleaned this track in about 3 weeks, so it should be relatively dirty, and I'm, even with the most reliable locomotives I've got, I'm kind of, you know, I'm hoping the performance is not going to be brilliant. On the other track, the Class 25, I will run that with the scratch-built cleaning wagon with the new pad underneath, and we'll just see how that goes, looping around, and as it loops around a few times, and hopefully you'll be able to see the performance of the locomotive slowly but surely gets better and better as it tows the cleaning wagon around the track with the balsa wood pad underneath it. Once we've run this one around maybe 1 or 2 times, then we're actually going to run over this track here with the Inex, and using this pad here, which I've left for a few hours now, and it doesn't seem to, the Inex hasn't affected the adhesive or anything, and interestingly the pads are still actually got a reasonable amount of dampness from the Inex that's on within the felt. So you know, this could work out quite well on the underside of a wagon, but we'll just run this around by hand and see how it goes. So let's fire up these locomotives. Now once again, they don't have directional lighting or cab lighting, and they are not DCC sound fitted in any way, so that is the good old-fashioned DCC locomotives. And the Class 25, and it stopped already, so there we go. Hand of God is going to come in and give this some encouragement. And I've just can hear that the Class 24 has stopped inside the tunnel, so as we can clearly see, track is very filthy. Right, I've got this running around. I had to push it through the tunnel, and of course, you know, I've got to take into account I haven't run these two locomotives in probably over a month, so they're going to need a little bit of a warm up anyway. Right, here's our 25. Needs a bit of a nudge. Come on, here we go. You can do it. You can do it. Move your f***s. Right, this one's really struggling to get going. it's taking a little bit of effort to get these engines to actually do a full circuit without something going wrong. I think I've got the locomotives warmed up now. But, you know, their performance is still sluggish, and that's the whole idea, really, that there's hopefully going to be some slow bits. So it's sort of sluggish along there through those points and around that corner. Oh, and it's lost the cleaning wagon. It's dropped off. It's not a proper coupling on it, so that's the reason why. But I think we'll take this cleaning wagon off now and have a look. And there we go. That's the grime just from a few laps coming off the rails. So what we're going to do now is I'm just actually going to run this over the track on this side, and then the idea, I think, is that the wheels of the locomotive kind of spread it further along the rails. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Right, we'll get this locomotive going, and I'll continue to clean, or not clean, run this Inex over the rails as it goes around. I actually think this is a winner. It just feels like this locomotive, the blue one, is just running. It's just changed. Its motion is just so, just seems so much smoother. So, and I haven't actually done all of the track. I've only done basically where I could reach, and I don't know, it seems to have like quite a different motion about it actually. It's just gliding. It just feels like it's gliding. Yeah, wow, that's incredible. What I might do is I'm actually going to run some over the other track and just see what it does to that other locomotive. So we'll be back in a second. And I definitely think that Class 25 is running a lot better as well. It just sort of looks like it's gliding and floating across the track. So I definitely think this Inex over the rails, the rail heads, is a good solution. Yeah, so there we go. I honestly think the Inex, or of course this WD-40 I think as well, and I think there's probably CRC products, yeah, it's actually changed the whole behaviour of these locomotives. So thank you to Fishplate Films, and yeah, I don't think I need to use a track rubber again. Well, I'm quite happy with the result from this Inex. It is quite clearly improve the performance of both those locomotives. So it'll be interesting to see how all my other locomotives also perform with the Inex applied to the rails. Now this is the actual pad which is now really quite dirty, and if I compare it to some clean pads, you can see that it does actually still clean the rails as well, but it leaves this protective coating, which is really what the idea is about, and this protective coating repels sort of grime and dust and dirt and things like that. Now, as I mentioned before, there is WD-40, which I think is a suitable alternative, and I think there is some CRC product as well. Now, there's plenty of other ways that you can clean your track, and you know, as mentioned, I think I'll do away with the track rubber, but there are still other suitable methods. So in no way am I suggesting that everyone rushes out and replaces all their track cleaning gear with Inex. It's just simply just another way of cleaning and improving the reliability of your track. So I'll leave it there for now, and I certainly hope that you all enjoyed watching this video, and well, it maybe offers up another alternative. So thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.